And hello and welcome to episode 75 of the GrowCast Show. And today with me, I have Lindy Lee, and she is a property consultant, and we're going to dive deep into all things property in Singapore. So, Lindy, how are you feeling today?
Good.
Nervous?
A bit.
All right, but I think today we're going to ask you all the questions because you are an expert in property. So I want to start off by asking you, Lindy, why did you decide to join the real estate industry?
It was actually of coincidence where I was at home, looking after my kids. But, I realized one day they will grow up soon, So I was going to take the RES. So it makes me want to go and study about real estate, just to study. Nothing to do about what top agent, nothing about that. It's just to really get more knowledge because my husband's family business is also dealing with real estate. Okay. Not property agent, but real estate. So I thought maybe I could have some related topics to talk to him about. So it's just my initial knowledge-driven kind of stuff.
So what was your motivation though? Was it because you wanted more money? Was it because you wanted time?
No, I just want to keep improving myself.
Okay, yeah. Tell me a bit about that. What was your motivation for wanting to join?
Motivation, keep myself occupied, learn more things, learn more about real estate, investment. Because formerly I was working in a bank, dealing with financial stuff.
Okay.
So investment was quite, I would say, natural to me. Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And for yourself, Lindy, what is your advice for a single individual when buying their very first investment property in Singapore?
I would say that, well, if I were to go back to my first investment property, I would definitely choose something newer, not more than 5 years old, preferably. Something of good location, good school maybe, that would draw my future buyer in. So the exit strategy is very important when choosing your first investment property. But of course, I will ask them, what is your time frame and stuff like that. So some will usually tell me, it's for own stay. But come on, nobody actually will own a property more than 20 years. Maybe 5-10 years they will sell. And who are you going to sell to? That's the most important point I think they should look at.
Very nice. And also, Lindy, how is your approach as a real estate agent different from other typical real estate agents out there?
For me, my passion was always to maybe do a consultation with them, understand their needs, even know a little bit of the financial situation. They may not tell me full, but at least it's very important. Why? Because everybody's financial situation is different. So based on your financial needs, you may prefer comfortably a freehold. Some may not even need a freehold. They want to offload 5-10 years down the road. So it's really, really have to understand their needs and their financial situation to actually properly advise them.
And how long does one typical consultation with you take?
Maybe
First
about
consult.
30 minutes or so.
That's quite fast.
Because I meet buyers here and then. So in like less than 5 minutes, I need to know what are their needs. So I ask them key questions. So from there, I already know, because I meet buyers every day, right? So it's my forte to understand them. But of course, if we were to sit down, it's even better. Why? I could actually show them how the market is doing, which are the good ones that you can look into. Because buyers are buyers. They are just laymen. Not like us, we are dealing with properties every day. So we know which are the good ones that you can invest in, which are not so, but they don't know because buyers are emotional. So we're all emotional. We base on visual. So yeah.
Very nice. And I totally agree as well. The visual is very, very important. And for yourself, Lindy, what is your property advice, right, for a newlywed couple when they are buying their first matrimonial home?
I would advise them to buy near good schools because you never know. You may say, now we don't have kids. It's okay, I don't need near good school, but you never know. You really never know. At the time whether you really want, then you say, I need to sell, but at the time, maybe that's not the right time to sell. But you need to sell because you need to go to a good school. Maybe you have good affiliates, that's fine. You have your good alumni. I think that's fine, but still you want to near your good school, right? Your own school. So I think school is one of the key things, and also maybe MRT. great transformation, that will be good. Yeah.
So we've got good school, MRT, transformation. Any other criteria you feel for specifically for matrimonial? You know, a lot of kids like to buy near their parents, right? Do you think that actually matters? Is that because of the grants and all?
For some married couples, they like to stay near parents, to visit them, or they can come and help look after their kids. I think is the trend now. Yep. Whether for private property, yes, you can choose, right? For private. But for BTO, I'm not sure. Maybe you can. Yeah, go near to but you need to wait, right?
Yep.
For BTO, you need to wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. And for Lindy, for a prospective condo seller, right? Because you meet buyers and sellers all the time. So for a condo seller, what can they expect when meeting you for the very first time?
I would actually do a bank valuation, quite a few bank valuation. Really, really talk to the banker and, so I don't believe in portals valuation. To me, that will not give me loan. It's the bank that will give me loan. So I will check with bankers and also check the surrounding asking. Then I will show it to the seller. This is around the asking that your neighbors are asking, and this is your bank valuation. But may I ask, why are you selling? I think that's a very key question. So maybe after finding out, hey, they may not need to sell. Maybe they need to just decouple and remain this property. Who knows?
So you don't actually push them into selling even though...
Not really. Because, you need motivation to sell at the market now. If you keep waiting for high price, depends on your demand of the condo. Some condo, maybe you can. Yep.
Makes sense. And also, I'm sure you met so many people, right? But Lindy, have you ever met a low ball buyer before?
Yes, I actually met one guy who just looked for many property, view many properties, and then he will shortlist and he will just lowball them. Like maybe asking 1.4, he offer 1.2 or whatever
you were his
it
agent.
is. Some of them he viewed themselves. He happened to view one of my properties. That's why I get to know him. Then subsequently I say, hey, you are giving such a low offer, they may not want it, because this is a very sought after property. He doesn't care. So unfortunately, he's not into getting value properties, I feel. Because for a value property that already sellers are getting good rentals, why would they want to give you a low price? I can wait. I mean, yeah. So if I'm sitting down here having a good rental yield, why would I sell you low? I will not. Yeah.
Makes sense. And for yourself, what are your thoughts when sellers or, landlords, right? They engage many agents to market their properties because we all know as an agent, of course, you want the exclusive listing, right? But as a seller also sometimes, they got so many friends who are agents as well. So they want to give everybody a chance to sell. So if I could ask you, what are your thoughts between a landlord hiring exclusively an agent compared to having many agents market their properties? Which is better?
Okay, to be honest, I don't blame landlords having many agents to market their rental property because they are in need to get rid of. But however, sometimes, because of many agents, we are all competitors. So everybody will just push for the viewing without qualifying the budget and stuff like that, the profile. So the landlord end up having to open the doors many times. Instead of actually maybe within 5 times you can close at a good yield. Yeah. So this is my experience. So because I got some landlord who allow me to market exclusively, I could actually close them in like less than 5 viewings and good rental, good profile. But I guess because all these landlord, why they engage so many agents is they do not have a trusted agent yet. That's why I say I do not blame them. But they need to understand the consequences of engaging too many rental agents. Seller even worse.
I think you mentioned a very good point about a trusted agent, right? So maybe Lindy, how would you define a trusted agent?
Okay, so actually when I was in the real estate, initially when I do not know any of I don't believe in approaching my friends initially. So I do a lot of co-landlords, co-seller that they do not know me. So they are nice. They give me a chance to market. And over time, I build trust. I give them prompt reply. I do according to what they say, and that give them trust in me. So eventually, I become their exclusive agents. Yeah.
Very nice. And for yourself, Lindy, how, because I know you are into property as well, you are investing, you are buying as well. How do you personally spot good deals in the market with buyers?
Okay, so what I do is I always tell my buyer, you never offer, you don't know. So let's go and look at the properties that you like and we deem fit that it is a good investment property and we just offer. No offer, you don't know. Until you offer, then you know their bottom price. Yeah, that's what I always say.
Is that,
So they will just go with me to view and stuff like that. Yep.
and typically for yourself, in your experience, right, because you speak to so many buyers, right, what is their mindset? So from a buyer's mindset, right, what is a buyer looking for when they're looking for a good property?
I feel that buyer mindset is very simple. As low PSF as possible. Yeah, as low as possible. I can stay there, nice, cheap. This is a typical buyer mindset. But unfortunately, in Singapore, our land are scarce. Land prices keep going up. So as you want as low as possible, yes, you have, but you end up having a very, very old properties. That's why you can get low PSF. What? Newer property, I'm sorry and sad to say that they have all been risen very, very high.
We'll be talking a bit about PSF in a while as well, but that was part 1 of the GrowCast Show of episode 75, and I will be back with part 2 real soon with Lindy. I hope you enjoyed part 1, coming back to you with part 2 real soon. And welcome to part 2 of episode 75 with Lindy Lee. And I am about to start part 2. Part 1 was exciting. We learned so much about property. Part 2, we're going to go a little bit deeper into PSF, Singaporeans' favorite topic, right? PSF. So I'll talk about PSF in a while. But Lindy, let me ask you, what property investment decisions turned out to be one of your biggest mistakes so far?
I would say procrastination. Because I think I've procrastinated too long to sell my first property. Because, I was busy working, finding properties for my buyers, selling for my sellers, and I neglect my own property. So I procrastinate. So how I imagine if I can actually sell my property earlier, so I could actually hop on to another better capital appreciation property, rental yield higher, kind of, but it's never too late. Eventually I sold off and I hop on to a brand new condo under constructions. And now I'm getting good use and appreciation as well. Yeah.
Very nice. I never heard that before. The procrastination turns out to be the biggest mistake. But yeah, it makes sense what you're saying. And in the end, for yourself, what kind of property did you buy? You talked about procrastination, right? So
I actually bought a new launch.
Okay, what kind of property did you buy that gives the greatest ROI and yield?
Okay, first of all, I actually know that area very well. Being a realtor, of course, I know which area generates the highest PSF for rental. So I'm looking at that area, and at that time there was this developer who is giving some discount. So I hop onto it. After selling, straight away, I put my 5% and that's it. Yeah, I got the unit that I want, the facing that I want. It may not be the perfect PSF, but because I want it for own stay eventually. So I do not want like west facing and all this thing, which actually lower PSF. But I bought the higher PSF because I want to face the river. So I bought the higher PSF because I want it for own stay eventually. And even for rental, because it's a good facing, the tenants will know. This will demand a little bit higher rent than the west facing. So I think this is something that buyers should look out for. PSF is not everything, but I think the most important thing is at the right unit, the right facing, and why is it deserve this high PSF? So you're going to know yourself.
And Lindy, this is the most common question that I'm sure everybody asks you, right? Like, how do you determine which is better, new launch or resale?
Wow. Don't ask me because I'm always prone to new. Because I feel that something that is new your value is there, will always be there for the next 5 to 10 years. Oh, yeah, you can see now maybe it's a 10-year-old, but after 10 years, become a 20-year-old property. So to me, I'm always geared to the new properties. So yeah, I can be a bit biased on that. But however, there are also some good resale properties that I think I will look into myself also. Selective. Yeah.
What would your criteria be for that? Let's say
Usually I would, I will look at the condo demand, the transactions. So the transaction shows the demand. So whenever, being in the industry for like more than 8 years, I already know which are the properties in the CCR, for example, that are good for investing. Yes, their PSF may be a bit high, but I feel that long term, it will still be a good property investment.
And for yourself, what is your advice to an individual, right, who, let's say, they only have 200,000 to invest, and you find that they already own a residential property? What advice would you have? Because there's so many of them around, right? So what advice would you have to someone who's got 200,000 to invest, but they already have their own residential property?
Okay. So recently, I bought myself commercial properties because I already own one properties. So now I'm into commercial property that has no ABSD. So I actually bought a freehold commercial properties, which I think is a good investment. As what people say, low PSF. So you actually has to really spot for it. Yeah.
And how would you say that? So for someone who's got 200,000, would you say commercial property is the way to go for someone like that?
Okay, in the market, there's residential and commercial. So commercial is the one that doesn't have any ABSD currently in the market. So we have industrial, we have offices, we have shop houses. So for the so-called low quantum, we look at industrial, B1, B2. They have freehold, they have 30 years, they have 60 years. But in the market, the government is going to release only 30 years going forward. So I will prompt my buyers to search a certain industrial property that are worth looking at. Yeah.
Okay. And for yourself, have you ever break any sales record for transacting the best deals for your buyers?
Coincident. Actually, ironically, those record breaking are usually I'm the exclusive. As I say, because I'm the exclusive agent, so I know what kind of, I know how to, no, there's no other agent who come and say, hey, come deal with me, all these things. There's no competition. So usually, I would say quite glad that I'm able to sometimes close a property within 5 viewing and at a record price, be it rental or sales. Yeah.
And for yourself, if let's say somebody is looking to get you as an exclusive agent, right? What do you typically tell them to convince them to get you as an exclusive agent? What are 2-3 things which you typically tell them?
I will share with them my experience for my track record. Like, those sellers who engage me as their main agent, I will just tell them that, I have actually so-called sold a property nearby, at a record price. This is what I have sold. And in the mere like 2 weeks. Yes.
It's very fast.
And also I'll do videos for them, SS trials, social media casting, but mainly in Property Gurus. So I spend a lot of money in ads, actually. A lot. Yeah.
Makes sense. And excuse me, when buying an investment property, should they look for Singaporeans typically, right? Singaporeans PR lah. When buying an investment property, should Singaporeans and PR look at capital appreciation or rental yield?
It depends on their life stages, Sometimes when you are already in your 50s, you want stabilization, you just want income for your retirement. So maybe you can invest in a property that gives you a high rental yield. But for young people, like 30s, single, earning a good income, I feel that capital appreciation, high ROI, is the way to go because you still have time. You still have time to actually sell off in the next 5 years and hold on to another properties. and all that. So rental yield, I would place it secondary. Yep.
So it depends on life
Yeah,
stage.
as I said, it's not one method fits for all. It doesn't, I feel. Everybody's financial situation is different. So I would not state like a fixed method for all. It doesn't work, unfortunately, to me, in my opinion. Yeah.
Makes sense. And for yourself, would you buy a new launch condo around 2,200 PSF next to MRT versus an old condo at 28-year-old at maybe lesser PSF 1,300 plus, but not so near MRT? Which is better?
Okay. As I already said, the new condos, yes, even though it's high PSF, but they are a fresh new lease. The 1,003 PSF, yeah, it may be cheap, but lease decay, yes, is something I think most buyers should be wary of. It's one of the risk factors. But however, I also understand everybody budget is different. They want space, they want what, they don't care. It's okay, I just buy and stay, no choice. I really have limited budget, my wife not working or whatever it is. I don't know. So everybody, otherwise nobody will buy the old condo, right? Yeah, everybody will buy a new one, right? So everybody has their different preferences, I would say.
And Lindy, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us. It was really, I learned so much myself. And that was episode 75 of the GrowCast Show with Lindy Lee. And if you're looking for property, especially luxury property, you know who to go for your exclusive agent. Lindy Lee, thank you so much for your time. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Bye-bye.